I've lived in the same house for all of my 18 years of life. I love this house, despite the basement that floods, and the roof that leaks, and the ceiling that falls down in chunks, and the doors that don't fully close, and the spiders and mice that dwell in the nooks and crannies. I love this house, despite the ugly memories insulating its thin walls, of slamming doors and echoing screams, and pain and pain and pain. I love this house because it's always been there for me. A refuge of constancy amidst external turmoil. A wellspring of familiarity and comfort. From my arrival as a bundle of blankets, to the first day of kindergarten, to the last day of high school, this red brick house on South Avenue has been my home. But now it's time to go. To look back, to say thank you, to move on. To go out in the world, untethered, and discover for myself, somewhere, some way, to make a new home. So a couple weeks ago, my dad gave me 2 thumb drives with basically all the photos he has of my brother and me, like thousands and thousands of photos. I decided to look through all of them because it felt disrespectful not to, since my father probably spent a long ass time putting it together. I noticed that the number of photos decreased significantly after 2008, 2009-ish. And at first I didn't even think about it. I just assumed like, oh, we just got older and more boring, so he just stopped taking photos of us. And then I realized, oh wait, divorce! Anyway, it made me kind of nostalgic, so I ended up making this piece as kind of a goodbye to childhood and the place I grew up. I'm leaving for college and moving across the country in about a week, and it feels very strange that life as I've known it so far is coming to an end. My home will no longer be my home. If I come back to visit, it'll be as a guest. Especially after 2 years of stagnation because of COVID, and by stagnation I mean not leaving my basement ever. The fact that my life is about to change so drastically is a little hard for me to wrap my brain around. I barely remember what change even feels like. One of the main things I'm nervous about for college is losing the sense of home, like a base I can always return to for comfort and solitude. For me, the paradigm of social interaction has always been opt-in. Like, being alone is the default, and I can choose when I want to go out in the world and be with other people. But in college, it'll be opt-out. Being with other people will be the default, and I'll have to actively carve out alone time. It's not that I don't enjoy socializing. I am very comfortable with being alone, but I do consider myself pretty extroverted. However, I'm kind of starting to doubt myself and wonder if my perception of my own extroversion is fake news media and is really only relative to the context of me being alone by default. And maybe I don't know how comfortable I'll be around other people when my socializing mode is always on instead of something I choose when to turn on. Well, we'll see. I think I need to stop overthinking. Here is the final painting. I named this piece Homage because it's an homage to my home and aging. I know that's not how etymology works, but I do what I want, okay? It's 4 feet by 3 feet, and I used acrylic paint and an orange Posca pen. So the background is my house, as you probably guessed, and the foreground is me at ages 2, 3, and 5. I wanted to use the different stages of mobility, squatting, then running, then doing a cartwheel, to convey growth in ability and autonomy. Also, the me's are located increasingly further away from the house to show how I'm like growing up and moving into the world. But I use the red pants to maintain a sense of continuity. I made the figures not fully solid in order to portray a sense of memory and ephemerality. And I also tried to convey the passage of time by creating a gradient with the color regions of the lawn. With the directionality of my paint strokes, I wanted to show how my memories and identity are tethered to the house. Also, I don't really know color theory, but I tried to mainly use the triadic color scheme of purple, orange, and green. And I used warmer tones to enhance the atmosphere of nostalgia. So yep, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.